There. It's starting to give. Oh no, it's cracking. Oh, whoa. Well. Oh, it's ready. It's getting real close. There it goes. It sounded bad though. Oh, there it is. The smell it's putting off is wild. It is. There must just be one little spot holding it up. Oh, I just want to hit. Sometimes you just want to hit these with hammers. I've learned my lesson though. Alright, my arms are tired. I think I have a cramp or something. Ow. So, it was pretty cold and windy today, and I thought it'd be a good day. I went out for a walk and it's not going to happen. I thought it'd be a good day to take the neck off of this Wards resonator guitar and continue the restoration. So, I have first step set up. We're going to take the fingerboard tongue. Oh, it's already getting hot. I didn't even expect that to be happening yet. We're going to take the fingerboard tongue off of the body, detach it from the body, which will not be as straightforward as other times I've done it because there is this dowel in here. In fact, I think I'm going to show you the dowel. I'm going to see if I can get the camera in there. So let's venture in here. There we go. So here you can see the post that's in there, and yeah, I think, let's see if I can shine my light in there. Well, first of all, you can also see at one point someone put a bolt through the neck block here, probably to keep the back of the heel from lifting off. And up there, if you look, let's see if we can get in focus. Yeah, you can see there's like a little dowel. Oh boy, it's hard juggling the light. Yeah, you can see it there at the top. There's like a little dowel. I can't get any closer than that, but you can see it anyway. I don't know if that was really all that worth it, but you see, we're going to have to deal with that. You can see the top of it right there. Oh man, I don't know what was up with my white balance, but it's fixed now. So, up here, you can see, yeah, right there is where the dowel is. So we'll see if it pops loose as it heats up, because it's probably just hide glued in there too. I know, especially in the metal-bodied resonators, you'll often see 4 screws or bolts or something like that. And I think on the wooden ones too, of certain eras, they're all bolted down. But yeah, obviously this is a budget thing, and a lot of things in this seem like, what can we do? The bare minimum to make a resonator guitar, which is great, which is kind of what I like about it. But anyway, so we're going to change the setup. I'm going to get this, I got a little thing to protect the finish from the heat, and we'll get that all set up and get the light bulb a little closer to this fingerboard and see if we can start popping it loose. Alright, so we're all ready to go. As you can see, I have this this dual purpose for heating off bridges and the fingerboard extension. It's just like a piece of household insulation, like polystyrene covered with foil. It does melt if you get it too hot, so you gotta be careful. You gotta watch this one. You don't walk away while you're doing this. And this whole process actually goes very quickly. It's just a 100-watt rough service work bulb that I have hooked up here, and it gets so hot so fast, you'd be surprised. And if you don't watch it, you can even like bubble off. So I'm lowering it here now. You can bubble off the finish is what I was going to say. That's happened on some less expensive rare instruments I worked on when I was first figuring out how to do this. But so we're just going to let this kind of cook here. It's already, I mean, oof, I don't even bother putting thermometers on here because I've sort of gotten a feel for it. It's sort of like the hide glue lets up Probably around, I don't know, 200 degrees, something like that. That's just my guess. Hot enough that if you leave your fingers on there, it's uncomfortable. That's sort of one of the, and you start to smell it too when the hide glue starts to heat up. And you can definitely feel it. Like when it's letting loose, it's letting loose. We may have to add a little bit of liquid here, but I bet it will start going. If we do, we'll set up a pot boiling. Anyway, let's give it a few minutes to heat up, and then we'll see if we can start to loosen up the edges of it. So it's probably almost been, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and I actually went ahead while it was warm and removed our 13th fret here. And you can see this fret wire. I don't know, maybe I'm just absent-minded and misremembering things, but it seems like it has an awfully long tang, and the barbs are quite low down on it. It seems odd. It came out somewhat difficultly, but it came out with that. It came out very cleanly, no chip outs or anything like that. I do this because later, when we have to insert the heat stick, we'll need a hole where the joint is, and the 13th fret is about where the dovetail should come in. So we'll see. And let's go ahead. That's what we were going to do. We're going to go ahead and see if I can start to work the spatula under the fretboard extension. So very carefully, I'm just going to start to probe the edges of this and see if there's any openings. I can see the corners here are just starting to peek up. Yep, see, I can just get... See, I don't want to push, I don't want to distort or break the wood, but I do want to start to work, because the hide glue will just start, especially this old hide glue is so crystalline, it'll start just coming once we get it hot. So I have the corner in there, and I'm going to work on it a little bit while it's still hot with two hands. I got the whole end sort of worked loose. It's very dry in there. I may wick in a little bit of water. I like to keep it, I have this sort of dry, if I can keep water off of this as much as possible, I like to, since this is an old instrument with old finish, I don't want to cloud it. And water can lead to things distorting and all kinds of things. I'm going to heat it up again, but I'm going to leave the spatula sort of wedged in there. Because sometimes, once you heat them like this with a little bit of pressure, parts of it just sprawling off with that old hide glue. So we're going to apply the heat for a little bit longer and then work at it. It's good to go really slow so you don't start cutting into the wood and you just break the glue line. Alright, let's give it another whirl and see if we can get more off. Oh, I can see, you can see close here that the edges are really popping now. Raise up the light. And, well, yeah, sometimes I'll even submerge this in boiling water, the spatula in boiling water to keep it warm too, but let's see how it works through. Still early in this process here. Yeah, it's going good. So I'm just applying pretty steady pressure here. I think I will set up. It's pretty warm. It's really warm out here. Get to that area. I'm sure it's this dowel is making things more tricky, holding it down there. Because I can tell in the center it doesn't want to come quite as easily as it does out here on the edges. I'm hoping this gets hot enough that it will start to slip. That'd be the ideal situation, because I may have to just stick a saw in there, which would be stressful. It won't be that hard, but it'll be stressful. I don't want to mark up this top. But it's going pretty good. It's really letting go. We'll give another dose of dry heat and see where we're at. Alright, here we are, back at it again. Let's see where we're at. I'm not even going to move the light. Alright. Yeah, see, we're at a point where it's not giving as much. I'm sure it's because of that dowel. We'll look at the other side of it here. Yeah. Pretty symmetrical how much it's given up on either side. See if we can sort of surround it. Because if I am going to have to saw it off, I want some room to work the saw in so I don't come in contact with the top. Ooh, it just slid a bit. We got this glue pretty hot. This thing after, because it's probably been under the light for 15 or 20 minutes now. I don't keep track. I go more by how it feels. Because it can vary day to day and guitar to guitar. How much heat. Oh! Just slipped a bunch. Oh, now we're getting somewhere actually. See, it's just about persistence and going slow. Because once the glue starts to let up, it's amazing how fast it can go. And I think this looks like it's starting to let go a little bit. That dowel. I don't know if we can get close enough to even see, but I'm getting there. I think I might let it cook for a little bit longer here before I get any closer. Push on it a little bit more. See if we can get anywhere. This side maybe. It's staying nice and warm because I left the light there, but you have to be careful because remember the whole point of that block was that this stuff doesn't get too hot. It's made of plywood, and if it started to delaminate it would be a real drag. But it's good that it's getting the spatula nice and warm. Yeah, we're really closing in on it there. Yeah, it's starting to go. Alright, let's dose it with some, let's just put this back and we'll let it set for a little bit longer. I'm going to put a little bit of hot water onto this dowel. I don't want to put too much, I don't want to swell up this dowel. This may even be ill-advised, but I want to loosen the glue in there. Let's see if that does it. It's hot enough that it should dry up in there pretty quick. It's interesting how much wood changes as it gets hot. Like the properties of it, how flexible it gets. I mean, it's not news to anyone who's ever done anything with bent wood furniture or anything like that, but it's still kind of amazing. It reminds you what an organic material it is. When we started, it was sticking up proud, and now it's you can see it's I don't know, 1/64 of an inch below the surface of the fretboard, so it's starting to go. I'm just going to keep pulling on it for a little bit. A little bit more water in there. It's starting to give. Oh no, it's cracking. Oh, whoa! Well, it's starting to crack right there. See that? Well, very interesting. I'm going to come at it from the other side and see if we can get it to come up. That's partially because of, again, this dot, which I probably, you know, at this point I could probably almost fit a saw under there. I wanted to see if I could just pop it off. I'm gonna put a little bit more water in this hole, and I'm gonna start taking it from the other side. So you gotta watch what you're doing, because when it's like I said, when it gets hot, the wood becomes, the properties change. It becomes much more brittle. And that kind of stuff happens much more easily. Oh, I should have been going at from this side for a while. I think I was running internally into the edge of it where it had cracked. Getting close here. The middle's come up for sure. Get that peg there. And if I absolutely have to, I'll drill it. But I kind of want to see it, just out of curiosity's sake, what it's like under there and stuff. Let's see. Let's attack from the other side now that it popped. Oh, it's ready. It's getting real close. There it goes. It sounded bad though. Some wood. I think that's from the fretboard. Splintered out while I kind of did that. Oh yeah. Something's really interested to see what it's like under here when it's all. Let's see. Can we get up to the? I want to get up past the dovetail here, and we're there. We're up to the neck joint. Alright, there we are. We're free from the top. We're free from that dowel, and it actually did what I wanted it to do. Oh. There's some uh-oh. Interesting. Alright, so I think what happened is we lost some of the plywood under the top. We'll hold on to these pieces and see if we can reattach them later. It may not be necessary. We'll take a look. You know, working with plywood and heat is always, for me, or it's every time certain challenges come up because it likes to let go, and it's not like working with, I don't know, a piece of spruce or a piece of mahogany or a piece of birch on a top, which is a bit more of an integral substance than plywood. I think it's okay. Let's see. And the neck seems pretty tight in the pocket there. I can't see the joint. I'm assuming it's a dovetail. I know some of these are not, but this is not like a screwed on neck, and it looks like a normal neck block, so I can't imagine it's not a dovetail. So we'll drill a hole at 13th fret there, and we'll stick our heat stick in there, and we'll start to see if we can loosen up this neck. Just realized I was out of focus the whole time I've been taking the neck off. That's okay. All seems to be better now. Now, the first time I used this heat stick, I sort of drilled at an angle because I didn't want to hit the dovetail, but it was in a guitar where there was almost no space in there. I ended up going into the block, and the whole process took longer than I think it should have. So I'm going to try to really do this at 90 degrees this time, and hopefully I'll get into a pocket. But here goes nothing. And that was wood the whole way down. Not into any kind of pocket. But I've made a hole now, so we're going to go with it. And we'll see what happens. See what it's like. Alright, so we got a hole. Now, set up the soldering iron. And last time I did this, I tried it all kinds of heat settings. So and then I was reading online, and it said just put up full blast, which worked actually. And so we'll put it up to full blast heat, and we'll just let it cook in there. There we go. Alright, this thing's been cooking for 10 minutes or so, about. And it's already starting. Yeah, it's loosening up. It's loosening up. I'm gonna check it. I gotta take the heat stick out. Be careful with it. Put it on this spatula. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Oh wow. Well, that's it pivoting on that dowel down there. But yeah, it's loosening up. want to go slow. Since I didn't get right into, I'm very interested to see what's actually under there, into the pocket. It's going to take a bit. Let's go ahead, we'll cook it some more. If we have to, we'll drill another hole. I can also see where there's been a little they did a really, whoever did this did a nice job. They patched where this was drilled. I think this neck has been messed with over the years. It certainly has been there. There's a little patch. Interesting. Alright, let's cook it some more. Alright, it's been going for, I don't know, another 10-15 minutes. Certainly the iron's really hot. Let's see if it'll give up. I tried to look in there to see if I could see the joint. I still can't see the joint. During taking the tongue off, and see a bunch of the top, it got pre-deformed under there. It's going to be, well, we'll see when it's all off. We'll give it one more dose of heat and see if that'll make it come loose. Oh man, the insulation's starting to degrade on my thing here. I'm going to actually turn my soldering iron down. Let's see if it'll come loose. Nope. Feels... Oh, I wish I could just see in there. Let's see if I... Well, I think I'm at the point where I'm going to cut off this fingerboard extension. This is all, you know, if this was a really nice, if this was a very good example, a rare example in excellent condition, I would be taking a lot more care. This is our prerequisite to preserve all the parts and stuff, but this is, you know, this is already an instrument that's been messed with and is strange. So, and I got it to learn about these things anyway. So I'm going to take some time now. I'm going to take this fret out. I'm going to cut the tongue off, and let's take a look at how badly I messed up what's right under here and what this joint actually looks like, just for because the sake of, I don't know. Let's find out. There it goes. I'm not worried about chip out at this point, but that being said, it didn't chip out. And actually, I think it's just going to go right there. I don't think we'll even need to saw it. I see it? Oh, weird. Okay. I can't even see a joint. Oh, there it is. Aha! Alright, I'll show you what's going on here. This is another one of these situations. This was the case on K Archtop I restored recently, and Stromberg Voisinette parlor guitar I'm working on, where you can see there's almost no gap in between. In fact, there is no gap in between the bottom of the dovetail there and the the bottom of the dovetail and the bottom of the, I guess the bottom of the bottom of the tenon and the top of the mortise. I don't know. There's no space in there, and so it makes it extra difficult to heat up the whole thing. But at least it's not like the top isn't over the dovetail or anything. So we'll get the heat stick back in there, and I'm gonna put some water in the joint, and we'll see if we can get it to come loose. It is a tight joint though. I'm actually going to put a little bit of water in the hole too, because I can really control it now at this point. So I put some water in the joint already. I'm going to put this is nowhere near the amount of water that you would use in a steam resetting a neck. And when we're all done, since we're going to be doing since we're going to be doing such a dramatic reset on this guitar anyway, we're going to have to actually take some material off the dovetail while we're at it, because because we're going to be lowering it in the joint anyway, and I don't want, if anyone else, God forbid, has to take this neck off at some other point in time, make it easier for them to work on. I didn't drill, so I said I should drill at 90 degrees, which isn't quite true. You should actually drill following the angle of the dovetail, and I actually went a little opposite that. In fact, I didn't do a great job, but it's about in the right place where it needs to be to heat up this joint. We'll just let it cook a little longer. Alright, well today nothing's been going right. Whether it's, I don't know, stuff breaking or... but what just happened was my soldering iron has gotten hotter than it's gotten since I've gotten it, and the things, I don't think anything broke, but it became the little knurled bushing came loose from the thing. I'm waiting for it to get cool enough that I can put it back in there. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to drill another hole that goes straight down the length and probably drill into the joint, because I just can't get it hot enough, and the joint is so tight in there and it touches at the bottom that I think the whole thing has to be ripping hot before it'll come loose at all, because I've been trying to wick water in there and get it all loose, but to no avail. So I'm going to get this all back together. This may be something that I tackle tomorrow, because I gotta go meet somebody pretty soon, but we'll see if I get back on the horse. I'll keep you updated. Alright, so I swallowed my pride and I just drilled another hole. I was feeling down, sorry. Thanks for helping me through that. Drilled another hole, and this hole is smack dab in the middle, right at the joint. They say drill 2 holes on either side. That doesn't make, for this, especially since there's no space in here, it's not like it would funnel up. Anyway, I think this will work now. I'm going to put a little bit of water in it. I got the soldering iron back together, and hopefully none of the electronics got too janked around. Alright, that looks good. So we'll switch it back on. Oh, I'm going to put some water in there. And we'll let it cook in that new position. We'll see if that helps us, gets us any closer to where we need to be. So I'll put some water in there. It's gonna come. It's just a dovetail. It's just got hide glue in it. This one's just been particularly... I've taken a bunch of guitars apart. I know, I'm like... it's always stressful doing this under the gun with an audience here, though. But all this area will be covered up when we're all done. And actually nothing too bad has happened. All the wood all these little flakes that we saw came from the fingerboard that's trash already. Yeah, we can see, oh man, it really, wow, you can see it went all the way. You can see the frets where the woods come apart. We're going to have to heat that up and go in with a chisel and something, but nothing's missing from the guitar. Oh, that's the old hole. New hole. You can hear it steaming. Here, this little peg that's sticking up, I think it's made out of ebony, which is wild. I'll probably end up, well, it'll come out. I'll be able to get it out of there. Maybe I'll even inlay it. I'm not going to have it go through. I'm just going to glue the new fingerboard down. I'm not going to put a dowlet, because I think that's silly. But I may put it in as a little inlay or something. I'll save it, certainly. It has a good tap tone. Alright, now we're starting to get somewhere, because the glue is gooshing around and I can see it in the joint. I'm going to let it get a little warmer, and I've been putting some water in, just dripping it drop by drop into the hole. I'm going to let it get warmer, and I think it'll just pop right off, hopefully. But it's already going much quicker now that it's, I think... So I've made more mistakes on this. Of course, when I'm in front of a camera, I make the most mistakes and the most reckless. I'm still kicking myself over this. It doesn't matter, but it makes me look bad when I left all this fretboard on the top here. But anyway, Getting over it. I think I'm just gonna have to take my time with this one. It should pop off real clean. It's just gonna. But in the future, something we've learned. That's what I was getting to, is that I think it's better to heat up rather than trying to heat up this whole neck block. Right? If there is this sort of situation, it's better to cheat towards the dovetail because a smaller piece of wood to heat up. And that's all. I think that's what I've learned towards this thing. And then all this, and unless it's like a Martin or a Gibson, there can't be guaranteed that there's going to be a space in there. So you have to be. It's tricky. It's tricky. Because where the 13th fret was actually a little low, and I've experienced this the last two of these I've done, where the 13th fret is a little low. You got to sort of shoot up towards the dovetail. I think is what we've learned. Right? Something like that? Okay. So I'm going to let it get hotter yet, and we'll see if we can pull it. Alright, I think it's time to try it again. I like this over the shoulder kind of situation. Figuring it out still. Man, this tip keeps wanting to come off of this thing. Alright, I'll try to do this quick while it's hot. Not the best angle. Oh, it sounds different, that's for sure. Feels different too. Not quite there, I don't think. Oh, we're much closer though. Feels much better. Alright, I'm gonna put some more heat in it. But we're getting there. Alright, we're gonna try it again. Make sure to twist it now so it doesn't come out of the tip doesn't come out. Yeah. It's really feeling squishy in there now. Oh yeah. I keep saying that and nothing happens. Sort of applying pressure at the back. They make jigs that will sort of push. Ooh, something's happening on eBay. Kids are playing out there. Alright. Here we go again. Good feeling this time. Good feeling. Also, while the camera was off, I picked up that piece of ebony and it broke it. But I got a nice little chunk off. I'll still be able to inlay it if I want. Oh man, it's close. I can feel it. Give it up. The smell it's putting off is wild. It is crazy smell. This whole guitar, from the beginning, has smelled crazy. Guess what? More heat. Alright, it's time for another futile attempt. While we're waiting, I was able to clean off most of the stuck-on fretboard here. Came off really easily. It was glued very strangely on there. But let's see. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get this off now. But every time we go, it's looser. If I tried to steam this, oh man, I would have blushed this finish because it would have taken so much heat before it would have let go. We're getting there. There's some point on the back, I think, or towards the back of the joint where it's sticking still. We'll get there. It's just this joint is so tight. Oh god, it even looks like it's, man. If I can get in there with a razor and loosen it. Because there's like a part that's sticking in the front of it. Oh, we're getting close! I can feel it! We're gonna have to heat it more though. Alright. Here we go. So something interesting is happening. Something that's never happened before. I'll show it to you. So the dovetail seems to be broken, coming apart. I don't know if you can even see, but this end of it seems to be cracked, which is making this whole process more difficult. We'll see. Pretty soon I'm just going to be warm enough that I can try pulling it again. And we'll see. But this has been really difficult. Alright, let's make another futile attempt here. It's been a frustrating process here. I don't think I broke the dovetail either. I don't think that was me. I think it was just... I think when they put this in, there's a shim. I think they just jammed this neck in, because it should not be this difficult. I removed the screw. I don't know what's holding it up. The front is pretty loose, but I think what's happening is wedging. That broken part's just wedging it in there, because the other part's quite mobile. This guitar's been the gift that keeps on giving. I gotta bought a great one by the time I'll be done fixing this one up. But that, you know, it's about the process. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's getting looser. So I don't think my soldering iron could take too much longer. And I gotta go meet my friend. So this may, if this doesn't work in the next 20 minutes or so, we'll call it a day. Oh, this is just gonna be simple. Oh, it's moving together now. It's a good thing I did that. Whole thing's moving as one. Let's see if I can loosen this up, because at least I can make a path for the glue to get, or the water to get deeper in there, past the glue. Well, this wouldn't have been complete if I didn't burn myself. I was trying to free the joint with a knife, and it's amazing. You just touch this thing for the briefest second, and it burns you instantaneously. But this is going to be the last shot of the night, because I got to go. So let's hope it goes. Feels really loose now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's do this while it's hot. Well, it feels like it's coming. Feels like it's coming. Oh no! Come on! It wants to let go. Come on. Come on. Well, getting this neck back on is going to be interesting. We'll see. I may have given up on everything by then, just decided to walk into the ocean. Come on. I know there's just one, there must just be one little spot holding it up. Oh, I just want to hit, sometimes you just want to hit these with hammers. I've learned my lesson though. Alright, my arms are tired. I think I have a cramp or something. Ow. I think that's our cue to stop for the night. Got my burn. Broken part is stuck now. I feel like the whole thing would just pop loose if that one little part would just give up. Oh, it's coming actually. I think it's coming. Come on. It wants out. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. Come on. Aha! Holy cow! Oi, oi, oi. And some of it, we lost a little bit of it. in the joint there. That part didn't want to give up. Not much though. Oh boy. And this is definitely, yeah, oh, you can see. Well, part of what held it up is where they had screwed it in. Oh. Well, I'm glad it's off. And it was shimmed. You can see it. Tired. Shimmed from the factory. The brake's not that bad. That little piece will glue back on. I'd do it now, but I'm tired and I'm burned. They really wedged this guy in there. And there are going to be more shims after we're done, because we're going to really dramatically change the angle on this guy. But that's more than enough for today. We got the glue soft all the way to the back. Boy, oh boy. Took a lot though. Alright. Until next time. Alright, it's a new day. I was able to sleep on this repair and come back refreshed and renewed with a sore arm. And I just wanted to look quickly at sort of what happened. And see, the only look at both the mortise and the tenon of this dovetail here. You can see this dovetail came factory shimmed on both sides. Choo choo choo. You can see the hole where somebody screwed down the back of the neck here. I think this neck might have been off once before, so maybe they're not factory shims. So scratch that. It's hard. Something's happened to this neck at some point. I think that's part of why it was so difficult to get out. Because you can see the dovetail here is in pretty rough shape now. We'll be able to rebuild it, but the only piece that came off during this last little bit was this one little piece towards the back, and this will glue right back in and be just fine. But you can see there's this whole broken off back, and that wood is missing. It wasn't in the dovetail, and there's also this big missing chunk right here, which leads me to actually believe that this neck has been off before. And yeah, the screw went all the way up into where the broken section is. And you can see there's some glue that doesn't look like hide glue to me, and it looks more like Titebond or white glue at the back there. Probably someone tried to clamp it down. I don't know. Or they tried to glue it to get it back in there. So anyway, I think that's partially why it was sticking up in the dovetail. Of course, all this nastiness is going to be removed when we set the angle anyway. And I don't know about rebuilding the back of this dovetail. We'll see what we can do. I have to think on it some more, and I'll just start rebuilding with the pieces I have, or the piece I have, and clean up the two bits, and we'll come back and make some more progress on this thing. All right.